God, I couldn't click my mouse to get us in the feed for a minute there. I was like randomly clicking and missing the button to add us back in. Anyway, we're here with Meme Wars.
That takes a lot of skill. You know, a lot of people spend years in college learning how to click a mouse because it's important skill.
I literally just could not. It's like a square box, and I kept hitting above and below the square box that says add back in. Well, whatever. All's well that ends well. We're back. Odie's here, and we had our discussions on what to call this episode, and Odie took umbrage with my title of "The Children Yearn for the Mines" because he has something more prominent he wants to discuss. So, Odie, lay it on us.
Well, yeah, I have no idea what yours means, so we can talk about that in a few minutes.
We'll get to it. Yeah, we'll get to it.
So I was going to name mine Matt Rife as a government psyop. And Brian doesn't know who Matt Rife is, which is
I literally have never heard of it. Until yesterday, I saw somebody online talking about Matt Rife, and I was like, what? I have no fucking clue who this guy is.
He's come out of completely nowhere. I noticed like maybe 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden he was recommended in like my reels on Facebook. And the way Facebook works, like you click on like a reel like one time, you get like 20 of that person over the next like week. So my entire reel started being, this guy doing his comedy shit. And he does a lot of like interaction with the crowd and stuff. Like that's basically what he does. He doesn't seem to do, maybe I'm wrong, but he doesn't seem to do much actual like, setup, walking through different scenarios, comedy, whatever you call that. It's just playing with the crowd for the most part. But he's blown up. Like he did a special that has like 10 million views on YouTube. He was just at the Steelers like training camp or whatever, mini camp.
Oh, that's what I saw. It was you. So, yeah, you put something of the guy Matt Rife at Steelers camp, and I was like, that's why I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Why do I care?
I thought it was a joke at first, but it's become like a meme, like how he's become just like so big, like in 2 weeks. I've never seen anything like it before.
It's got to be pay for play that the guy just has enough money to throw at Facebook to shove it in everybody's faces.
I don't know.
It's just like those fucking two Democratic twat children that are propped up and paid for by the Democratic National Committee that make all these stupid videos. I can't remember their names. They were on, I think, Tim Dillon's show, and you'd recognize them if you saw them. They're just very smug, super leftist shitbags who yell into the camera about how the GOP is evil and how climate change is going to kill us all. But they're propped up by spending shit tons of money to influence the algorithms in order to put them in front of your face nonstop. Like you could buy your way into doing that. It just takes a lot of money. Hello, William.
I know you can, but I think this is, for some reason, the algorithm, and maybe there's some behind the scenes where that's why I say government psyop, where this guy's out of nowhere just being forced down our throat. Or maybe it's organic and maybe he just timed it right. Because I don't think he's buying, a bunch of ads and shit, but maybe I'm wrong, but here, I'll play a quick video here so you can see who he is. I have no idea what this is.
I read a book. I've got ESPN. Y'all gotta step the fuck up, bro. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful. Boy, you making me scared. Jesus Christ. Especially in the dark. I can't even bite you back there, dog.
Why is
not going to black guy?
This seems fake. Oh, okay.
See what I mean? Don't say it. What? What? You ain't a nigga, but act like one.
Well, that's gonna get us banned.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. Good job, Odie. Well done selecting the clip that's gonna get this removed.
He could just be.
Anyway, that's like what he does. He goes back and forth with the crowd, and maybe it's half of it's freaking set up. I don't know, but that's like seems to be his thing from my perspective. Maybe he does have actual, material.
I don't know. I'd have to watch the special and see. I wonder if I wonder if Big J Okerson or any of those guys have done a comedy watch, special watch kind of show, because they do that once in a while. Yeah, I've never heard of this guy. Granted, I mean, I'm not, my finger's not on the pulse, even though I'm bringing back my comedy show in LA. But
I saw that. Comedy Ahoy.
Comedy Ahoy, yo ho ho, bringing it back in July. So we'll see. I still gotta get the lineup secured. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. It's always bizarre when somebody blows up that huge that fast. But you also wonder, is it just that they just didn't feed us this content for whatever reason for a long time, and idiots, like it and watch it, and that's why, since we are on a higher plane, we don't know about these people. Not to say I don't know anything about Matt Rife. I don't know. Maybe his comedy's genius, but from what I saw there, I wasn't too blown away.
Yeah, that one wasn't very good. But
was it right? I was like, this is. I was confused as to why he's posting this heckler video, or it didn't seem like he was owning the guy in any way. It just seemed like a conversation back and forth, that the guy in the crowd was more entertaining.
Yeah, well, that's. I think sometimes that's what's happened. Is he seems to get like people in the crowd who are like, it's almost like it's scripted. Like there's these scenarios where it'll be like, a couple in the crowd, and they'll be like, "Oh, we just got in a fight on the way here," and they'll be like, "Oh, so who's the other guy?" And it's like a whole thing. Like, I don't know, but then he will come back with witty banter. Like in the one, it was a girl. There's a couple there, and the girl's a teacher, and I guess the other guy's another teacher, and she's like, "Yeah, I teach math, and he teaches biology." And Matt Rife is like, "Well, sounds like some chemistry to me." It's just like real like cheesy shit
awful.
Like that.
Man, that's awful. That's eye-rollingly groaning terrible. Well, I'm glad we didn't name the episode that.
That's why he's a government psyop, though. It's ridiculous.
He does look like the kind of guy who would be at a Trump rally in shades and a hat, planning to storm the Capitol building. He's got the jawline for it and the build. So maybe ex-military.
Yeah. Before we get to memes, what does your title mean?
Oh, mine is a meme, and it's a meme that just cracked me up. I'll play this. Then I want to talk about the Trump indictment thing, since that just happened, just briefly. So this is the meme. I'll share it here, and I'll read it out to the people that are listening. It is one of the funniest memes I've seen, especially as a libertarian talking about how child labor laws are ridiculous. It says, in 1920, we took the children out of the coal mines. In 2020, the most popular video game on the market is Minecraft. The children yearn for the mines.
That's pretty good.
I was laughing on the toilet when I was reading that. I was like, that is fucking hilarious, man. The children yearn for the mines. I just want that on a t-shirt.
Actually, want to be back.
we should put it on a mine. We should get a design made for Minecraft and bring it to Porkfest OD. It says the children yearn for the mines.
Tell you what, when the kids were in the mines, you didn't have to worry about them, becoming trans, wanting to chop their dick off. So
no, if it happened, it was by accident with a pickaxe. And free babysitting too. No, I just thought it was so fucking funny. So anyway, there's that. That's why the children yearn for the mines. But I want to talk about this indictment thing, since it just dropped, and how ridiculous it is. I tweeted out that it seems to me that there's the Democrats from the opposition, like, there's no way this is going to take Trump out of the race. It's not. It's ridiculous. It should be thrown out. It's absurd. I honestly am blown away they even went forward with it, because it just is. It's what looks like to me a very clear weaponization of the DOJ for something every president has done. And it just was, I was laughing to myself, because I'm like, maybe the plan here, because I theorized that they wouldn't press charges because then you could come after Joe Biden for the exact same thing. The exact same thing. They've got the photos in the boxes. No, they won't. But I was saying that I think the Democrats got a win-win here, because not only can they indict Trump over this bullshit, but I think this just means that they're confident Joe Biden won't be alive by the time they come back around to try to indict him. Like,
well, that might be the case, or they just. I don't know what the Democrats' plan is. They must be so confident they can beat Trump with whoever they have there, either Joe Biden being propped up by Kamala Harris and whoever else is standing behind him, Susan Rice, Barack Obama, that they're so confident that, because this is you can't beat Trump when he's literally, they're turning him into a martyr. Like, there's no way another Republican is going to beat him. And the Democrats have the general election, the scheme down so much with this ballot harvesting that I don't know if any Republican can beat a Democrat. And I'm not even calling it election interference or whatever, or voter fraud. They are ballot harvesting within the laws of each state. I don't think they're breaking any laws, and they're just better at it than Republicans. And until Republicans get good at it, they're not going to win.
Yeah, ballot harvesting is without a doubt one of the things that pisses me off most, because I view it as a complete and total evil. There's no way that the people that they're having their ballots taken, it's, especially here in LA, homeless people, it's senior citizens that are getting taken advantage of. It's rife for abuse. Even if it's legal, it's rife for abuse. And it's horseshit. And I agree with you.
Walk into a nursing home, go through each room, collect all the ballots. Like, these people don't know what's going on. Have you been to a nursing home? Nobody there knows what the hell's going on.
And even if you went through the proper way of doing it, you're like, oh, I'm going to sit down with these I'm a volunteer. I'm going to sit down with these old people without them having any fucking clue. Same thing. Here's your ballot. Who do you want to check? They're not even going to read over it. They're not going to care. Just check whatever you want to check. It's just horseshit. But I will say that, I there's no way they're going to come back around and go after Biden for this. And in truth, if you're the Republicans, I think it would look petty to do so. I think it actually is more effective to be like, this is so stupid, we're not going to bother. And then also I was reading into a little bit more of this, and I guess it's like, they're showing photos of these boxes, just random crap in boxes. And they're saying half this stuff he shouldn't have had to begin with. So the fact that he has it, it's like, well, why did somebody give it to him? He probably didn't even know what was in there. And yet he's getting indicted for this nonsense, which has no standard penalty, by the way. It's either he can serve no time or 1,000,000 years. It's completely open.
I forget the name of the whatever institution that controls like the classified documents, but didn't they ship all of that stuff to him? It's not like Trump brought all those boxes there on his own. Like, that's
what I thought too. They sent it to him, and then it's like, because he didn't look through them and send them back in the timeline they laid out. You're indicting him. It's front to back fucking idiotic.
It doesn't make any sense at all. But what do you think about the? And I don't think anything's going to come from this, just because we're talking about Washington. The Joe Biden situation with the FBI informant who is saying that I don't know what kind of evidence he has, but to a deal between Burisma, who Hunter Biden was on the board with, that they were each, Hunter and Joe, were getting kickbacks of $5 million from Burisma, which is just, that's huge. And then they asked Joe Biden about it. Some reporter yelled it out at an event, and Joe Biden started to laugh. He's like, "Where's the money?" That's all you're going to say? Like,
there's no way. Yeah, there's no way to hide that, Joe. It's probably buried in the wall. It's like in the walls of Hunter's whatever den he's using to bang his latest prostitute. It's in the banana stand.
Well, they can go through so many, banks, offshore banks, and back and forth, and it's being held somewhere.
Oh yeah, and you're talking about people also. Let's not forget, when you're dealing with people that are used to the seedy underbelly of politics, without a doubt, there are a million services and people that exist purely to wash and launder money.
Mm-hmm.
For Christ's sake, the Clintons aren't in prison, so that tells you all you need to know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that that's another example of, I think nothing will come of it, even though it sounds like this whistleblower's got it on good authority. But unless he provides the documents, unless he can trace it, do the investigation, which that the DOJ is not going to do. They're going to slow burn it, just like the FBI slow burn the investigation into Hunter Biden's laptop, into everything the Bidens are associated with. They've slow walked it. So by the time anything happens with it, Joe Biden will be dead or out of office. And I do think the Democrats are going to try to get him out of office before 2024. I think that they were desperate to get him out because he's not popular.
I don't think so, because I think they're right, that if Joe Biden either dies or if they get him out for some reason before 2024, it's going to be Kamala Harris. And she's maybe one of the only Democrats who could lose to Trump.
I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be Kamala Harris. They're not beholden to Kamala to put her forth. They
cannot. The Democratic Party cannot run the first African-American woman vice president as president. Like they can't do that.
You will see something come out about her that will disqualify her from running. Some scandal, some allegation. There were already allegations of abuse from her staff that had been kind of floating around out there. I promise you, they will find a way to take her out, or she will say, I'm not running, and they'll make her bow down. Because, again, if it's against Trump, then she might just win regardless, because people hate Donald Trump. He'd be the worst person the GOP could possibly run. But if it's not Trump, then I think that you could probably sub somebody else in, and they'll try their best.
So
because if it's DeSantis,
be?
or if maybe RFK Jr. will end up being the nominee, man. He's got 35% support right now.
I would love that. That'd be amazing. I might actually register as a Democrat and vote for him in the primary.
Yeah. Well, speaking of RFK and Porkfest real quick. So, RFK Jr. had requested that nobody in the audience open carry while he's doing his speech. And I'm not sure if he backed off on that or not. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, it makes sense considering his family's history. But then I was thinking on another level, a conspiracy level, I'm like, if the government or the Bidens did want to take him out, what a perfect place to do it. You fucking shoot him at a libertarian event. Everybody blames the goddamn cursed libertarians, and then win-win. I mean,
don't even
seriously.
put that thought out there, man. Jeez.
Well, it went through my head today, dude, and I'm like, wow, if they were going to do it, that would be where they should try to do it. Yeah. And maybe RFK is aware of that. He did, yeah. Again, I'm not sure if he stuck with it or not, but he had made that request.
Well, hopefully we can get some time to talk to him, ask him the real difficult questions, but we'll see.
Yeah, Jason's working on it. So
all right, so let's get to some memes here. We've been talking back and forth for a while. Yep. All the kids come for the memes, so let's give them what they want.
And to reiterate, my first meme was, I'll read it again for people just tuning in. In 1920, we took the children out of the coal mines. In 2020, the most popular video game on the market is Minecraft. The children yearn for the mines. There you go.
All right, first meme. This is a great one here. You got on the left side, you got some sort of gender-neutral, purple-haired person saying socialism is better than capitalism. And then on the right, you have the bearded blonde guy where you see on memes all the time saying, when the Berlin Wall fell, who ran to which side? Yeah.
Well, they'll say, that wasn't real socialism.
We didn't get to try real socialism.
In real socialism, you can't even afford the bricks to build that wall. That's the truth. All right, so here's my next meme. This one is from the Babylon Bee, and of course ties into the recent revelation. Even the New York Times had to admit that there are plenty of Nazis among the Ukrainian troops and a long history, quote-unquote thorny history of Nazism. So the Bee has this, Zelensky accuses Russia of putting little Nazi stickers on the helmets of all of his soldiers. Because so many of them have Nazi paraphernalia and regalia all over their uniforms in different insignias.
Yeah, but Israel supports Ukraine. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, puzzling.
All right, next one from me. We'll go with Austin Peterson here. This one. So
that's a good one. Saw that today.
I'll go through each one here. It says, so it's at the top, it says, if a white person. So it's one of those charts with a box, then an arrow to another box, and then an arrow. At the bottom, it says racism. So first one, if a white person moves out, that is white flight. If a white person moves in, that's gentrification. If a white person sees color, well, that's just racism. If a white person doesn't see color, that's ignoring racism, also racism. If a white person doesn't partake in culture, that's non-inclusive, that's also racism. And if a white person engages in culture, that's cultural appropriation, which is also racism. This just reminded me, and you've talked about this a lot, Brian, where when we were growing up as kids and young adults, like when you were walking past a black person on the street, say, hey, what's up? You don't think anything of it. Yep. But now in today's world, with this division and, the network news is dividing black people, white people. We're supposed to not like each other. It doesn't make any sense. Now, when you walk past a black person on the street, you're like, should I make eye protect? Should I not? Should I? What should I do here? I'm not sure what I should do.
Yeah, you get in your own head so damn much because they fucked with us so badly that you're self-conscious about every interaction. And yeah, the black person's like, what, this guy's saying hi to me? I was like, if you look at him too early, it's like, look at this white guy trying so hard to say hello to me. He's racist. And if you don't, he's like, look at this white motherfucker not saying hello to me, not acknowledging me. It's like, no wins. No win situation.
Cannot win.
Oh, thank you. William says the joke about the bricks for the Berlin Wall is a keep all. I agree. They're all keepers. All my jokes are hilarious. Except the ones that are
better than Matt Rife. That's for sure.
Yes. Goddamn right. All right. My last meme is from Peddling Fiction, the Peddling Fiction podcast. And they had tweeted us out. Again, I'm not sure if this is theirs or not, but they tweeted out. It's pretty funny. It's the picture of He-Man slapping Skeletor in the face, and Skeletor standing saying, "I stand with Ukraine," and then He-Man says, "Slap! We're gay this month." Just so perfect, man.
Great.
It's so perfectly embodies the quick pivot that all of these brainwash lefty social justice warrior dickholes do for whatever the cause is at the given time. So beautiful.
You gotta love He-Man too. I was a big He-Man fan as a kid.
Me too. Yeah.
All right, I got last one here from me from a friend of the show, Dave Rubin. It's almost like a weekly appearance with Dave Rubin. He's good at the Twitter. So Dave says there is no such thing as LGBT community. The T's want to cut off the wangs of the G's and the boobs off the L's. That doesn't seem very community-like to me. Have a nice day.
Yep. I will say, I mean, I've heard Dave Rubin say this. I've heard a couple other gay commentators say this, and including one guy, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's like a prominent anti-trans being attacked onto the LGBT or LGB. And yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense because when you think about it, it really is everything trans. Like when you think of how many of these kids turn out to be gay men or lesbian that are having these operations done, it really does seem like conversion therapy via surgery because now you're straight, right? They made you into a straight person because you're still, most of these trans people are still attracted to the same sex that they were attracted to, but vice versa. Although a lot of times the men now, transversely though, the men will be attracted to women that become women, and then the lesbians don't want to have sex with them, and they're called transphobic as lesbians for not having sex with the men. They have to explain that they like women, not men that look like women, and they get in a lot of trouble. And it's nothing about the trans being affiliated
and they say
with
back to them.
Yeah.
And they say back to them, well, this is a woman. You're like, no,
Yeah.
It's not a woman. It's
Yeah. And nothing about the affiliation between, like, even like the spirit people, the furry people, all this shit being tacked on to gay and lesbian makes zero sense. Tack on whatever sexuality you want. And the trans thing isn't even a sexuality. That's what's so odd. It's like gay and lesbian, that's it's what you're sexually attracted to, right? You're attracted to men, you're attracted to women. Go ahead, fine. But if that's
gay,
the basis,
lesbian, bi,
yeah, gay, lesbian, bi, it's sexual attractive. Trans has nothing to do with sexual attraction and everything to do with gender identity. So on another level, it makes no fucking sense to tack it on to gay and lesbian causes because they have nothing in common.
So is there going to be like a gay revolution where they split off?
Yeah, the Rainbow Warriors are going to have their say. Yeah, man, I actually think that there is. I think there's a lot building in that vein that's gonna cause them to be like, look, we don't want to be associated with this anymore. You know,
especially because it's the trans community seemingly pushing this on children. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that's really coming from the gay community.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I guess you could say the drag show shit is. I don't know if that falls more in trans or more gay men lampooning as women. Either way, drag, I have nothing against drag or trans, but when you bring in the kids, obviously it's a problem. And I also think, though, the vast majority of gay men that are fans of drag would also say there's no reason to do this in front of kids. This is an adult event. It's enjoyed as an adult event. And I mean, I know the gay people I've talked to have that same viewpoint. So, yeah, I think there is probably a revolution brewing. I think there's a lot more angst and anger building in the gay community towards transgenders, people taking over the movement, which is basically what's happened, when they're a tiny portion of the fucking movement, and like I said, have nothing to do with it.
It's going to be the LGB secession.
Secession.
LGBTQ plus SQR.
T, X, Y. Yeah. Spirits. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Hey, any other memes, or should we call it a day?
That's all I got. Call it a day.
All right. Okie dokie. Well, bye, everybody. Remember to subscribe to the Lions of Liberty Network. Give us a like. Hit the notifications button, please. Otherwise, enjoy your weekends.